When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody on this Tuesday? Hey, Mel, Alan, good to see you. Junior, hello, hello. How is everybody? Bob, good to see you. Good morning. Hey, Wayne. It's Tuesday. We made it to Tuesday. Can we make it the rest of the week? Hey, Sherry. God bless America. Indeed, Junior, indeed. Good morning. If everybody would, if you could invite your followers in. I see a flickering on there. Hopefully that's not bothering you. I don't know where that flickering is coming from. Daniel, Cully, good morning. There goes Facebook already. Facebook just hates me. Hey, Marlene. Cousin P, how are you? Chicago Pops, good to see you. Missed you yesterday. Neil 69, don't see a flicker. Okay, good. Good morning. Hey, Lori, as you're coming in, if you would please invite your followers and retweet, that would be great. Looks like we're not going to get Facebook up and working today. Facebook just doesn't want us to be on, so we have to just respect their wishes as they respect ours. Oh my gosh. How is everybody? Hey, Kat. Good to see you. Facebook's not loving us today. I'm going to try again with the Facebook Live. I don't think it's going to work, but you just try and you try. There we go. Let's see if we can get it back up. All right. As you're coming in, let me read to you Psalm 47. Oh, clap your hands, all you peoples. Shout to God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is awesome. He's a great king over all the earth. He will subdue the peoples under us and the nations under our feet. He will choose our inheritance for us, the excellence of Jacob, whom he loves. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises in God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises with understanding. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. The princes of the people have gathered together. The people of the God of Abraham, for the shields of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. Amen, amen. Hey, Carmen, good morning. How is everybody? Oh, if you, good day, Jerry. Invicta64, how are you? My eyes are itching. Had eyelid surgery. Oh, my God. I bet that's painful when your eyes itch like that, Marlene. Hope they get better quickly for you. Amen, amen. All right, so we have some breaking news. I don't know if you heard yesterday about the, I don't know how young this person was, but a female Baltimore police officer went to investigate something. It seems to have been maybe a suspicious vehicle or something like that in the neighborhood. And it was supposedly a nice neighborhood. Nothing really happens in the neighborhood. Well, she was killed. So there goes that assumption that it's a nice neighborhood and everything else. And almost immediately, a 16-year-old, hey, Barbara, teenager was arrested. And now they have arrested 3 additional teenagers. So we talked about this the other day and how things have gotten out of hand with teenagers, some teenagers, and absolutely that has gotten out of hand, obviously. So God, may she rest in peace. God bless her soul. And, I hope these teenagers are tried as adults and get the full brunt of the law for the crime that they have committed. A heinous crime. So, anyway, I wanted to tell you about that. I believe Obama is declaring war on our police. Yeah, I think he did that about 8 years ago, Catherine. Oh, she was 28. I knew she had to be young because she was about 4 years on the force. Same area at Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore is, after Obama got a hold of it. Hey, Judy, good to see you. So, yeah, unbelievable. We've also, some other breaking news, we're putting sanctions on Iran on 5 Iranian-linked Iranian Revolutionary Guard. I don't know how they do that. And the Revolutionary Guard, I heard it's getting like Detroit. Oh, well, it's been that way, Barbara, for a while, I think. It's just getting, under Obama, it got worse. And you remember, Baltimore is where they also agreed to take in about 10,000 refugees that Obama wanted sent there from Central America. I don't know if these have anything to do with it. Ran her over like a dog in the street. Yep, Marlene, absolutely. Teenagers. And they will all be hopefully charged with felony murder, and they will all receive the death penalty if they do that in Baltimore, if they are convicted. Hey, Rhonda, good morning. Got to stop this crime. Hey, Spencer, good to see you. It's just getting out of hand. Hey, Kristen, tried to get on Facebook and it wouldn't unfreeze. Yeah, I think it's up and running now, Kristen. It froze for a minute, it turned itself off, and then I came back on. So you might be able to go back on over there. Rhonda, these are 4 teenagers who allegedly ran over and killed a female Baltimore police officer yesterday. They think that she came upon a burglary is what happened. And, when the teens are supposed to be in school, but they're not, they're out looting the houses and robbing houses. She came up upon the house and investigating what was going on, and they killed her. So, like I said, God rest her soul. Well, it wouldn't let me comment there anyway. That's crazy, Kristen. I don't know. Facebook hates me. I'm going to have to do something else other than Facebook. I don't know what, smoke signals, I guess. Let's see if anything else happened. There was I don't know why we didn't hear about this in our local news or in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is higher than it is in Honduras. Wow, Spencer said. Beck got no notice this morning. Sorry about that, Beck. They said she had a body cam on. Yeah, that's right. So that's how they probably got everybody, because they had, their faces on her camera. No respect for police officers in this country. It's getting worse and worse. Even the guy was talking about it yesterday during the press conference when they were talking about this officer. They have to be careful. They have to always be looking. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Watching out on everything. Okay, I can read a clock. Thank you, teachers. Okay. Good thing you can read a clock so that way you get here on time. Is that what you're saying? Police need better body gear. Police need better, weapons. Morning and listening. Hey, good, Carmen. Give the AK-47s to the police, and maybe this won't happen. No respect for life, period. Rhonda said. It seems that way. I don't know if you remember, but in California, when they passed that law, assisted suicide. Remember that you could assist suicide of the elderly in California? That became legal. A judge just overturned that. We need more guns, Bob said. Yes, weapons and her gear and her support. It got bad when Barry Obama turned his back on first responders. Yeah, when he said that the police were acting stupidly when they arrested his African American friend who was going into his house, and they got reports saying, there's somebody over at this guy's house who might be trying to break in, and they go over there, and all that guy had to do was just cooperate, say who he was, and everything would have been fine. But no, Obama had to come out and say they were acting stupidly. The BLM movement hurt too. Yes, absolutely. And Jerry, who invited the BLM to the White House? Yeah, Barry. Hey, Nikolai, I know if people would start respecting police again and respecting each other, then these shootings will go away. Nikolai said, if they understood what respect means today, Nikolai, people kind of know how to spell it, but I think they've forgotten the definition. An officer in Missouri was just shot, but his bulletproof jacket saved his life. Thank God, Kristen. A black person just moved into my community. What's wrong with that, Bob? Now where is the BLM? Yeah, Barbara, I don't know, a little bit more quiet because they're not invited to the White House. They're not put up on a pedestal as they were. So, you know, I guess they're not getting as many donations and not going out. I agree with you on that, Susan, Nikolai said. Yeah, it is funny. People have forgotten the definition of respect. I don't even think they understand that that's a word anymore in the English dictionary, honestly. But what I was going to say, there was a young black man who was 25, an Army reservist, a dad of two, near Denton, Ohio, Denton, Texas. Ron Kessler wrote a book about Hillary being so rude to her Secret Service detail. She was rude to everybody, Junior. Hey, Judy. Hi, Susan. Just got a pop-up to rate you. Really? To rate me? Did anybody else get a pop-up in the Periscope to rate me? That's crazy. Or they're gearing up for something bigger and better. Yeah, Beck. Who knows about that? But anyway, this young man jumped into a lake in Denton, Texas, to save this child from drowning. Put the child up. Rate her or monitor or comment. Yeah. Which one was it? Saw a broadcast where they were asking young people if the shooter was evil. Wow. So this young man got the child onto safety on a flotation device, couldn't get on the flotation device himself, and he died. He drowned. Hey, Lynn. No, but all the circles of people I follow are missing on the screen. That's crazy. Marlene. I know. I see a couple of people in the circles, but not everybody. It's really weird. Respect is important, and it should be mutual. Watching Hannity and seeing how those who didn't like Obama didn't go to the extent that the left is going to over Trump. That's true. Most said that they didn't know the difference between good and evil. Wow. No need gun for child. I don't know what that is. They need book. Yeah, well, they do need, they need more than just books. Amaz, I don't know if that's your name, but they need more than books. They need their parents involved in their lives. Kristen, that's right about respect. I think what happened when Obama won, people didn't like it, but they didn't, try to get him out of office and ruin his presidency. Yeah, Amazing Sherpa. You know, Amazing Sherpa, if you're talking about Sherpa, I love Sherpa. Just saying. Goes in my cuddle pouches. So, God bless that man for being you're a Sherpa guide. I don't know what Sherpa is other than like the soft material. Marilyn Kopp was a female 3-year veteran. Yeah, I heard Jules she was a 4-year veteran, but could have been. Oh, mountaineering. Oh, cool. So the man was a hero, and again, I don't know why we didn't hear about that in the United States. Rate in general, nothing specific. That's so weird, Judy. Hey, James, good to see you. I was thinking about something yesterday. It kind of, hey, Domenico? I go mountain and carry bag and climb mountain and trekking guide. Oh, that's so cool. Amazing Sherpa. That is great. Hello, Domenico. How are you? Hey, Eric. Good to see you. Here's what I was thinking. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I was thinking about yesterday when we were talking about the informant. I can't stand Obama, but I didn't go around speaking vicious things about him. I know. I know, Kim. Nobody, the people that did, some people called him derogatory names, and they were shut down immediately for doing it. And that was a couple of people? It wasn't the entire, right side doing that. You're welcome to visit Nepal, by the way. What is your name, please? It's Susan. 8 years. I know, Lynn. Yeah. 8 years. Yeah, I mean, we didn't disgrace the office of the presidency. We didn't go after him tooth and nail. We didn't, we didn't try to undermine his administration. They did that all themselves, but I'm just saying. No, they didn't. And now we have senators and representatives not doing their job for the people. It's not necessarily for the POTUS, Kristen said. I know. But they absolutely, hate President Trump no matter what. I mean, no matter, he could do anything and he would be hated. He could, take a walk, he's hated. Walks around the White House, he's hated. It doesn't matter. They just hate him. I've never seen so much hate. I called him Obama bin Laden all the time. Is that too far? I think a lot of people did that, Alan. Barry Obama was the worst president, but you wouldn't know it by watching the media. And Junior, you would know that. You wouldn't also know that Netflix just gave Michelle and Barry a multi-year agreement to make movies and documentaries, be behind the scenes, in front of the scenes on Netflix. So that happened yesterday. It's a multi-year contract. Someone would have done a mock beheading of Obama. They would have been arrested. Yes. And you know what, Kim? They should have been. They should have been. And Kathy Griffin should have been arrested. Trump can save someone's life and be criticized for it. Absolutely, Daniel. Yes. Kim, oh my God, is right. Yes, and people are calling Netflix to cancel. Yell, Netflix, cancel your subscription. Absolutely. A multi-year agreement with the Obamas. Yes, she should have been, Kim, yeah. And Kathy Griffin, she should be in prison right now for that. Isn't that sick? They should be locked the hell up. Carmen said, I missed it. Lynn said, I don't know. Well, Lynn, it was funny. It was kind of like breaking news, very quietly breaking news. Never had Netflix or cable, Mike said. Hey, Mike, how are you doing? Now Obama propaganda will be ramped up. I'm keeping Netflix. I don't care. They're not ruining my enjoyment of shows I like, Julia said. What if they go to jail? Well, I guess they can't fulfill their contract, Barbara. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what I was going to say is I noticed something. Yesterday we were talking about Halper, the informant, supposed informant with the FBI and the CIA. There's something that just dawned on me that I think is significant, but I don't necessarily know that it matters, but it should be talked about, and especially if we get into it. At least call and let Netflix know you are not happy with the Obama contract. Jerry said, yeah, and you can do that. They probably won't care. They're not going to cancel the contract, that's for sure. But hopefully what's going to happen is nobody's going to watch whatever they make, and they'll have to just, pay them their money, and then they won't do anything else. Instead of getting reprimanded, they're getting TV success. Well, isn't that the way it works, Carmen? You look pretty today, Susan. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Must be the blouse, it's that color or something. Jerry said, I won't watch. I'm not watching anything the Obamas do. Susan Rice and the Netflix board. I mean, pretty soon we're going to have Eric Holder, George Soros. George Soros may already be there. I don't know. It's crazy. So here's what I noticed. Sherpa line blouse. Now, Jerry, that would be great. That would be absolutely the softest lining you could ever have. But that's what I put in the cuddle pouches. That's Sherpa in the cuddle pouches. Definitely will cancel Netflix, and they will be given my reason why, Kristen said. A lot of people are giving them that reason, that's for sure. Very, very soft. Yes, Jerry. So I noticed that when we talked yesterday about all of those people that were involved in talking to George Papadopoulos, right? We talked about Mifsud, the Maltese professor. We talked about Halper, who was over in London. You couldn't pay me enough to watch what the Obamas produced. Kim said, I know, isn't that, it's like waterboarding in a way. It's like torture. I'm sure it'll be all pro-women, anti-men. That'll be one of them. But all of those people that Papadopoulos met with were in another country outside of the United States. Netflix series Obama's The Prison Years. Mike said. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Anyway, I think that there was a reason that all of this took place outside the United States. All the conversations, they had Papadopoulos come over to London to meet with Halper. He met with Downer in Australia. He met with Mifsud somewhere over in Europe. We had to endure 8 years with Barry Obama not going to give him 1 hour on Netflix. I'm not giving him 5 minutes. You know, I'm not even giving him that amount of time. So I agree with you, Junior. So honestly, when I look back and I think about that, about why all of this took place in other countries, I think that, and if the FBI was involved, that the people in the know who were involved in having all this done knew that that was entrapment. If you did it in the United States, it's entrapment. Hey, Brandon. So I think they had everything set up outside of the country so that the laws of the United States didn't apply because it wasn't done here. But then they could say, oh, wait, there is a problem with an American who's on the campaign, Papadopoulos, and we, the FBI and the DOJ, will try to go after him. Yeah, Jerry, I think it was more than trying to hide it. I think that was part of it. Conference call on Tuesday. Oh, Brandon. But I think they honestly wanted to make sure they didn't break laws here. And they wanted to do, surveilling and have all this, talking to with these people outside of the country. And I really do. It kind of dawned on me that they wanted to get around the laws of the United States, and that's exactly why they did it. Avoid legal issues by going around it. Yep. Oh, I think the Obamas are all set up to escape to a compound with Soros so they can be safe. Yeah, all these people with that kind of wealth, they have a place to go when it hits the fan. Some say that it's in Colorado, and some say it's in different places. Yeah, we canceled Netflix years ago, Brandon said. Good for you. George Soros needs to go away and try to get a plastic surgeon to fix his face so we can stand to look at it. I think he's evil, so you can't fix evil, Kristen said. Well, the nut doesn't fall too far from the tree, Kristen. Unfortunately, if George left, he still has his son, who many claim are just as evil, if not more so, than his father. So, don't know, what good that will do exactly. And also, something else I found out, and I had forgotten, that Christopher Steele was a member of M16. And that's like the CIA of Europe, right? So he was a member of M16, and I believe when we were talking about that yesterday, I believe that Halper, or I believe it was Halper, was also a member of the M16. Let me see if I can find out exactly who was a member, if I have it quickly here, and find out who was. Do you remember who was the member of the M16? Was it Halper? Was it somebody else? Does anybody remember? I don't know if it was the Australian guy. I have to look at that. I have to remember. I know somebody that we talked about yesterday was a member of M16. Oh, here we go. Richard Dearlove was a former M16 chief. Halper is a close associate of Richard Dearlove, and he had worked with Halper. So that's where the M16 member comes in. So, I mean, there you have M16, Julia. They said M16, but I don't know. That's where you have that connection. Brit Spy Agency, yep. And that there's a connection to Halper. There's a connection to Christopher Steele. It's crazy. I don't know. I saw M16. I have no idea. I don't really care what it's called necessarily. But, hey, Patrick. Yeah, Dearlove. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. Again, as we talked about yesterday, all these people are in bed with each other. MI6. Okay. Is it M16? I don't know. Okay, M16 UK Foreign Intel Service. So, M16. I've only seen it just as M16, but my feed stopped, had to go out and come back in, Barbara said. Not surprised, Barbara. So, M1-6. So, it's a British spy agency. So, Dearlove, connected with that. Steele. AT, how are you? So, everybody has a little hand in it. Everybody's connected. Isn't that just lovely? MI. Why I? Oh, I, not one. MI6. Thank you. All right, Spencer, I got it down. Military intelligence. Okay, MI6. Thank you. I got it. MI6. I'll never forget it. All right, perfect. Just a thought, you need to add another hour to your broadcast. 1 hour is not long enough, Patrick said. Well, Patrick, like today, yeah, M16 is the weapon. You do a great job at broadcasting and catching comments. Thank you, Kim. I try, but sometimes, today is God's views on political news that I do like an hour after this show. So that comes on at 1 p.m. Eastern. If anybody wants to be a part of the audience, if you will, you can comment and ask questions because we do the show live with my co-host Bill Cloud. It comes on at 1 p.m. Eastern. You just go to God's Views on Political News page on Facebook and you'll have it. Set your alarm. Great discussion, Marlene said. Thanks, Marlene. Okay, so you do a good job. Thank you, Kristen. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I try. I really try. In case you were looking for some place to go, Starbucks now is opening up their establishment. You can just go in there. You can hang out. You can go to the bathroom. Whatever you want. You don't have to buy a thing. Thanks, Marlene. News and information we can believe and understand. Thank you, Patrick. So if you just want to go out and hang out, don't want to buy anything, you want to take up space so a paying customer can't sit down, just go to Starbucks. It's perfectly fine. Think you're and Huckabee should team up. Herb, that would be great. I would do it. Just tweeted and I froze and got kicked out. I tell you, Beck, that happens to Teresa that's in here too. Every time she retweets, she gets frozen out. Is that what MI stands for then, Spencer? Yeah, it's intelligence, Kristen. Military intelligence. It is their foreign intel service. MI15 is their in-country intel service like FBI. Oh, okay, great. Sarah Carter Halper, Dear Love, Steele and Page, all at London seminar on July 16th before the FBI investigation. Jerry said, all in the same place. Yeah. And they said, on things that I read, we have no information that they knew each other, but they all just happened to be at the same conference together. Isn't it funny how things happen? It's just a coincidence. My article today that I wrote, Military Intelligence Section 6, Nikolai said. Yep. Or is it Military Intelligence? Kristen asked. My new coffee shop is called Sons of Liberty. Great place, great coffee, lots of plugs. Yep, big coincidence, Jerry said. Maxine Waters, on my article that I wrote today at SusanKnowles.com. Maxine Waters' daughter, Karen, this will be a shocker to you, got paid $100,000. Now, if you're looking for a new job, I didn't know this, but doing mailers, sending out, I know, crazy Maxine, I know, Junior, good Lord, sending out, being in charge of, stuffing envelopes, sending mailers out, asking for contributions. She got $100,000 for that. So she's made a lot of money, that woman. That been talking about Karen. Maxine never looks happy. Well, Brandon, she ought to be happy because her husband, I think, is pretty well off. And she's pretty well off, too. Hey, Alan. So, and she doesn't live in the district where she is, in which she is running. While as a clerk... Well, if you want to call her a clerk, Barbara, professional services. Kim said, holy cow, the most embarrassing part is she's my people. Junior, I don't think you have to, accept her as your people. You got to throw in some nothing tweets in your TL dog music. Okay. Her face is melting into her neck. Military Intelligence Section 6. Yep. Also known as Secret Intelligence Service. Yeah. I think Maxine Waters is going to, I don't know, she has a good chance of winning. What legislation has she ever created? Nothing that I can think of. All she wants to do is reclaim her time and impeach Donald Trump. So that's about it. But as the people in her district aren't very well off, doesn't seem to matter. And her daughter goes out, collects contributions from all those people, stuffs a few envelopes, and gets $100,000. Her daughter's made a lot of money off of her mother. I can tell you that. So I don't know what her daughter does otherwise. Probably doesn't need to do anything. And makes $100,000. I feel sorry for her district, scammed and used. Absolutely, Brandon. And a lot of those people there are a lot of African Americans and Hispanic. Sorry, my comments are later. That okay. She doesn't even live in her district. That's true, Marlene. And she's like Obama. You know, she comes out and pretends to like black people when it politically it does her good. Otherwise, I don't think she even socializes with anybody in her neighborhood. She lives in a gated home. Yeah. No vote for Navarro, Kristen said. Then she can afford to leave. Yeah, I wouldn't vote for her. I mean, you know, if she was the last person standing on earth, I wouldn't vote for her. But and remember, people like Kamala Harris paid her big money. See, these people, for whatever reason, these Democrats want to get on her mailer. And in order to do that, you got to pay the piper. So Kamala Harris paid her, I don't know how much the total was, but at some points, paid her like $28,000, I know for sure. I thought it was upwards more of $60-some thousand over time. Nutty Nancy told her to quit saying impeach, I heard. I don't know, Barbara. I hope somebody told her that. The few CIA people I've met tell me there is no believing a word they tell you. They are never honest about what it is they are doing and why. Talking about the MI6. Gomer's on Fox News, live, internet, on Rosenstein and Mueller. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There was a meeting yesterday between President Trump, Rosenstein, Christopher Wray, and Daniel Coates of the Director of National Intelligence, trying to get them to give information over to Congress that Congress has requested. And I guess a part of that, John Kelly was a part of that. He's going to be like the go-between. Susan, got to get to work. Have a blessed day. You too, Junior. Take care. So apparently John Kelly is going to set up the meetings between the Congress, the FBI, DOJ, and the intelligence to get that done. Was that at Trump Tower? I think it was done at the White House as far as I know. No scope tomorrow, right? That's right, Junior. I'll see you on Thursday. So, you know, it's just ridiculous that they're having to have these meetings at all. I don't know why the DOJ, well, I mean, we know why, but the DOJ won't turn over information. There are a lot of people right now, too, Judge Janine, Eric Bolling, who are absolutely not happy with Jeff Sessions, want to know what happened to Jeff Sessions, where in the heck he's going. Oh, that's too bad that she's singing at the gala today. I'm not a Joy Vila fan, so if everybody could, if you would please retweet this. We're past the halfway point. Filibustering and wasting money, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of what goes on. I with Jeff Sessions, as I said yesterday, and I've said a couple of times, he's already been talked to by Mueller. Our tax dollars at work, folks. Yep, Almond Joy has nuts. Exactly. Why do you dislike her, if I may ask? Because she's a Scientologist who claims to be a Christian, and there's a big difference. And I think she's also somebody who claims to be one thing and is doing something else. She also tried to blame Lewandowski for, you know, grabbing her or something like that, when she basically was on video doing the same thing to other people. Joy Vila. She's a playa, yeah. So anyway, I think that Jeff Sessions ought to get back in the game. It seems like the only thing that he can do is talk about MS-13. And he also was at that, last time I saw him was at the meeting with the roundtable meeting at California. And that's about it. Jeff Recusal Sessions, I know. And Teresa, he needs to get back in the game. And if he's going to do anything. But see, look at the meeting that they had yesterday with the president. He wasn't there, Rod Rosenstein. Rod Rosenstein seemingly looks like he's running the DOJ. I mean, every meeting that there is, which are a lot of them because they all have to do with Mueller and the quote-unquote Russia investigation, Jeff Sessions is absent. So Rod Rosenstein is running the show. And that's exactly, what we don't need. And again, I hope when this is all over, if it ever is over with Mueller, that Rosenstein either resigns or is fired. Gary Franchi went to D.C. and I thought he was going to do something to inform the Congress of all the blocking of conservative voices. Does anyone know about this? I haven't heard a thing about that. Hey, Wanda. Everyone having issues on Perry, check your followers on here for porn trolls. Deleted 4 just now, Carmen said. Yeah, they really like to come in, and you have to look every day and delete them off when you leave the show. Israel is supposedly using F-35s, the supersonic fighter jets now. Good morning, Pamela. How are you? Good to see you. I know that we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but Erdogan, the Prime Minister of Turkey, wants to have peacekeeping troops sent over into Israel. Israel has all the latest technology. It's amazing. And Erdogan is the one who set up the coalition between the groups, the same groups that are named in Ezekiel 38. So very telling. And Erdogan is, obviously delusional because he's talking about Israel killing those people on the Gaza Strip when most of those people that were killed, 50-some people? Thank you, Pamela. Hugs to you, too. 50-some people out of the 60 were Hamas. Donald Trump win the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't think so, Brandon. I don't think they'll give it to him. They should, but I doubt it. DOJ needs to be dealt with, and is Rosenstein's wife really an attorney for Clinton? How did he get in there? He's been in there a long time, Kristen, and yes, his wife is an attorney for Clinton. We talked about that about a week or so ago. I can't remember all the connections there. And if you look up his wife, who's what was her name? Gosh, I can't remember. It starts with a B, Bloomsarian or something like that. She, all the information about her has been kind of wiped clean off of the internet. Autocorrect sucks on a phone. I know. Happens all the time, Brandon. Also, rumors again about the House of Representatives, wanting a second special counsel to look into the FISA and the Clinton probe. We get this all the time. The Freedom Caucus kind of wants that. I mean, how many times are they going to say we want a special counsel? And they supposedly are going to come out and ask for it today. They've talked about this now since, 14 months ago? Counsel just means spend more money. That's true, Brandon. But, again, do we trust the DOJ? Do we trust the, Inspector General in the DOJ to kind of go out and find out, was there any wrongdoing? Supposedly, the rumor is the IG is going to come out and say the FBI waited too long in investigating Hillary Clinton and the emails. Okay, that's good. Is anything going to happen? Is he going to recommend that there is a criminal prosecution or anything of that nature that goes forward with that? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I think they're going to say, oh, bad FBI, you shouldn't have done that. And they're not going to go far enough and say that there was corruption. I'm glad we cut taxes, but at the same time, the increased spending with the new spending bill. Yeah, I mean, but just think we would have gotten that new spending bill anyway, Brandon, and we wouldn't have had money to cover that. So it would have been even more money out of our pockets. They gave her forever to wipe out that server. I know, Spencer, forever. And, I mean, honestly, when you think about it, and you find out that she's done that, there were no repercussions for her using BleachBit or anything else. Hey, Jules. And nothing came of that. Nothing, we talk about this stuff, and we go, yeah, that they did this and they did that, but does anything, come of it? That sucks. Whole country built on it. Crash coming soon. I don't, Brandon, I don't feel that way. I think, the House of Representatives were talking about this morning. Wow. Periscope made me choose to opt in your scope today. That's crazy. I don't understand, Jules, what's happening. Somebody else had to rate me. Get the FBI swoops down on lawyers and generals. Yeah. Something has to give. There needs to be a DOJ with some canines. Yes, I think so. Oh, you were going to say cojones. Okay. Canines is good too, but little teeth in it. But yeah, we have to have that. We have to have somebody who's going to do what they're supposed to do. Conservative war is on. Conservative war, Barbara and Bont. Wish I could say, tell Periscope, of course I want in, Jules said. I know, it's kind of like, Jules, you try to get into Periscope, and they're like, do you want in? No, I'm just coming here for my, to see if I can click on buttons. I love the tax raise. We have 2 more paychecks this month, and all bills paid. Nice, Beck. I know, Jules, duh. As soon as they suspected the server was hosting unsecured information vital to our national security, they should have been in there packing it up. Exactly, Spencer. They swooped down on Manafort. They swooped down on Flynn. They swooped down on everybody else. Why didn't they swoop down on Hillary Clinton and pack it all up? I'm going to be pissed if they remove Pro-God and Trump scopes from Periscope. Well, I don't know why they're going to do that, at least not yet. Just come in the doggy door like I did. Wade said. Talking maybe vacation. Been since 2007 since last one. Beck said that's great. Because she was paying them. Exactly, Barbara. And they wanted to, Barbara, also they liked being able to breathe. Right? Because with the Clintons, just coincidentally, some people don't seem to make it. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Something else, I don't know if you guys, I didn't hear about this yesterday on the news, and it happened, and I'm not hearing anything. I know, wink, wink. I'm not hearing anything about it now on the news. There were 3 cars that pulled up in Marseille in France yesterday, started firing, listen to this, started firing AK-47s at young people. And, I didn't hear anything about it. I don't think any people that I know, I don't think people got killed, but people got injured. And I thought with France, because I've had people from France telling me, oh, you stupid people from America with your guns. I know, Marley, never heard a word. You stupid people with your guns, we don't have that problem here. Well, it seems like now that you're unarmed, that you don't have guns and you don't have knives that you can carry in France, this happens. Just an average day there, like Chicago, trying to keep it hush-hush? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was trying to, I didn't get to read this yesterday, and I don't know if I can find it now. But my God, the amount of deaths that happened. I know, no guns in France, so that didn't happen. I know, Alan. Let me see if I can find this yesterday in the statistics for Chicago. It's something like 17 people got injured almost like in overnight in shootings in Chicago over the weekend. That's what I remember. And again, we don't hear anything about that, and there are probably more deaths that occurred in Chicago than may have occurred in school shootings, and yet we don't hear about that either. 30 shot, 3 dead. My gosh. I mean, basically, Chicago, it sounds like overrun with gangs, and target practice every weekend occurs there. I mean, it's insane. And yet we don't do anything. No guns in Chicago either. That's right. Chirac, yeah. Or Chirac, whichever one it is. Not like they would ever help us out if D.C. was burning. When Paris burns, the next time we need to get some popcorn, sit back, and just watch, Spencer said. Yeah, I can't find where I wrote that about Chicago, but I know it was over the top. Chirac, okay. It was over the top amazing at how many people over the weekend, and yet we don't talk about it. Nothing's ever on the news about it. It's just like it never happened. Now we talked about yesterday too about students, kids. What's happening with kids? We have this shooting in Texas, in Santa Fe, Texas, right? You would think that would give people, like Jim Croce said, Southside Chicago, baddest part of town. Yep. I saw on the news where gangs are now having paintball wars. You know what, Brandon? I'm for paintball wars if they want to do that, because it's safer than real guns. but of course they're probably practicing. Um, Two students at a nearby schools in Texas, nearby to that shooting in Santa Fe, Texas, and they made gun threats and were made at three other schools near Santa Fe. So you had several schools where there were gun threats following the Santa Fe shooting. A gun was found in a backpack at Hargrave High School, League City Intermediate School. They found another unloaded gun. So if you're a high school student, you just saw what happened in Texas, in Santa Fe. Hey, Danielle, why are you once again bringing guns to school? Why are you, phoning in threats or whatever you're doing at school, making threats? There's something wrong. And if people can't see that, I don't know what we're going to do. There's something wrong. There's a disconnect. Two kids had guns in the school. Here's that. Yep. I don't think it's paintball guns, Molly said. Good grief, I'd ask my parents to put me in private school. Yeah, Brandon, or homeschool. I mean, get out of that system. 90% of the murders in America are carried out by those from the left. Time to stop being coy about it. It's true, Spencer. It's absolutely true. But, when you're a kid, you can't say as a kid, oh, well, gosh, I didn't know. Maybe some kids, parents are not watching their kids, Barbara said. Or, I forgot and I left my gun in the backpack. I get that. Sometimes that could happen in Texas or any place else where you can, carry guns and all that. But after you had a school shooting, you better check your backpack. If you're that, uh, unable to take care of yourself as a high school student, then maybe you need somebody else that can. I don't know. But it's crazy. Kids need to speak up. Snitch culture causes kids not to say something. That's right, Brandon. Kids are told, that if you say anything about your classmates, you're a snitch. People won't trust you. They'll start bullying you. When I was seeing kids in the high school, that was exactly what happened. Kids didn't tell on other kids. And a lot of stuff happened, a lot of bad stuff. No more Netflix. I know, Pamela. It's not the gun, it's the hands that they are in. Yep, Spencer, it's not tattling if you save lives. They don't see it that way, though, Brandon. Maybe they need to go back through a safety course if you forget you have a gun. Exactly. Or go to one, Teresa, if they never went to one. Boycott Netflix. Yeah, we talked about that, Pamela, in the beginning, about the Obamas and Netflix. Yeah, nobody in here is going to be watching anything that the Obamas do on Netflix. Better start packing free health care for all illegals in California, working on a bill. Yeah. Well, you know what, Marlene, it's already free. It's our tax dollars that go to them already. The shooter at Santa Fe had it all over his Facebook. Was it true that the shooter in Santa Fe basically was saying that, or the mother, I guess, of the daughter who was killed, said that he wanted to kill her daughter because she had said she didn't want to date him. And then I guess he went in to kill her, supposedly, and just killed, 9 other people. Because, why not? I got a gun and I'm absolutely crazy for doing something like this in the first place. So he decided, I'll just take out more people. And people he didn't like. That he wanted to keep the people that he did like so they could get his story out there. It's craziness. So it was one, but he was rejected a lot. Yeah. And I wonder why he's rejected, Barbara. Probably because of the way he acted, no doubt. I mean, I think that there are obviously some things that he was doing, maybe some things that he was saying weren't right. And the kids knew it, but nobody else did anything about it. And a semi-auto was not used, right. Parents could not look on his social media. I wonder if his parents even knew how to look on social media, Barbara. I wish there would be in-depth psychological studies of these shooters. Well, Teresa, that's if you can get around the laws that prevent you from doing a lot of those things. I remember one time, I hope all is well. It is, Pamela. I hope all is well with you. Or a trench coat in 90-degree weather. But, back as I was saying, there are a lot of kids out here in California. They wear their sweatshirts all of the time. They're hoodie sweatshirts. And middle school, high school, and then complain about being hot. And I don't know why they do it. Sometimes it's because they're embarrassed by their clothing and they don't want people to see that. But it's crazy. I mean, you see these kids sweating, wearing sweatshirts when it's 90 degrees outside. My thinking is when parents are held accountable, then this will help. It will help, I think, Barbara. But it's hard, to go after the parents. They try that in California to go after parents whose kids are truant, and it's difficult. Okay, Carmen. So, you just don't ever know. And again, a lot of times, what are you going to say to a kid that's wearing a trench coat in school? If you go up and say something about the trench coat, then it's likely that you will be called a racist, discriminatory, everything else. Long sleeves hide those needle marks. That's true. But not only needle marks, but cutting, Carmen, because some teenagers cut themselves. Kids wear them as a coping mechanism. They will secure. They feel secure in them. Body image is scary these days. Yep. Need strict dress code in school. Yep. It was 90s here the other day, and kids walking had on hoodies. It's crazy. And again, you try to tell them not to wear that, and the school gets in trouble. The parents get mad at them. The ACLU comes in. Don't tell these kids what they can do. Or the girls when they're wearing spaghetti straps, or the midriffs, they want to be able to wear that. And the boys with their pants hanging down to their butts, and you're not supposed to tell them. Maybe school uniforms. We don't have uniforms here except in private schools. And if you told everybody to wear a uniform, then it would be who's going to pay for it. And not everybody can afford it, Our schools have uniforms. That's a good idea. My brother wore long sleeves, afraid of the sun. Beck said, we have uniforms. You see, Molly, a lot, I guess, some schools do. California, not going to have that because, again, it'll be looked at as discriminatory. And then what are you going to decide, which uniform you have? Dallas has school uniforms, Fort Worth not. Tax credits in NC for uniforms. Brandon said, I have to go. We'll watch the rest. We'll try to take better initiative to join you when you are live. Health issues suck. Kristen, I pray that God heals you of all of your health issues and hope you can join us again. Thanks for being here today. Uniforms are cheaper than regular clothes. It's true, Molly. But the uniform in California typically are shorts, jeans, sweatshirts, that type of thing. God's views today at 1 o'clock. Yes, Teresa. Beefing up security needs to be done ASAP. And Brandon, we're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. So if children are a most precious commodity, as I've heard that terminology used, why is no one doing anything? They can still have a dress code. My school did. Boys' hair had to be above the shoulders. Huh. Barbara got a sex spot there. In my little town, it's known they will take kids that other schools don't want. In North Carolina, you can even have logo on your photos in uniform schools. Or polos in uniform schools. I blocked her too. Danielle got her too. Facebook just went down again. Facebook just loves me. I don't understand it. Why aren't they making them safe? Well, Beck, you could... depends on where you want to let your mind go. I used to drive a bus but quit because of the school here, Kim said. Yeah, I bet that was hard, Kim, driving a bus with just kids that can do anything they want to do. I mean, people get beaten up on buses. And you're not allowed to do too much about it, Hard job if kids are bad. Yes, Molly. I would not want that job. Driving a bus is very hard. Yep. One thing, Kim, too. You can't watch the road. Watch the kids behind you. Our buses have cameras, and that's a good idea, Marlene. I think they all should. And I think in every bus there should be at least one other person that rides on that bus that watches the kids. While the bus driver should be watching the road. Too stressful for me. I'd go crazy, Brandon said. Some buses have a monitor. Good, Barbara. They should. I think every bus ought to have a monitor. I tell you, I think what's going to happen that we're not going to do anything. All these schools already could have gone out and gotten people to come to their schools and guard them. When I was a kid, the driver would stop and literally put you out on the road if you were fighting. Good for them. Ours have cameras. Facebook is telling me you can't continue your live video. Duh, you keep cutting it off. Hey, Amber, good to see you. But they could have already done something to beef up security, and nothing is being done. I think a number of people think it's not going to happen in my neighborhood, that it could happen to everybody else, but it's not going to happen to us. We don't need to do anything different, or, gosh, we already have a great system. We have people who come to the, teachers will go into the office, and my son's school had 2 entrances and were monitored. That's cool. Most California schools are pretty much open for the most part. I mean, you can just walk right on in. You're supposed to go into the office, but there's a lot, that don't have the fences or whatever. You can just kind of walk on in. And I think that, I honestly think there ought to be somebody at the door before they can walk in. They need guards and gates. I believe that, champion. I absolutely agree with you. Because once they get in the building, that's where the trouble starts. And put in metal detectors. I don't care what's in your budget. And see, that's another problem. Right now, these, I have to get this down. Right now, with the budget, schools have already spent their money. School's almost out. All schools I know of, North Carolina, has locked door and gates around them, must sign in. Brenda said, our school is very secure. That's great, Amber. But, I mean, all the money is spent. They're not going to spend any more money this year. And next year, school starts. Nothing's done. I'll tell you, here's what California schools did. A lot of the schools, they went out and they got, they got the, gosh, I can't even think of the word right now that I'm trying to think of. The, for the sun, the solar panels, there we go. They got solar panels put up in the parking lot. Do you know how much money that costs to get all of those panels put up in the parking lot? So they did that, and they stopped, having grass. They took out the grass and put, like, rocks and things like that in there. So they did all that. They spent all of that money. They could have spent all of that money on metal detectors. But I guarantee you, had they done that in California, somebody would be complaining about it. But those solar panels weren't cheap, and they cover the entire parking lot. And a lot of schools are doing that in California. And, California is more concerned about climate change, painting the streets white, so the sun doesn't get on the street and heat up the area. I mean, it's insane. So it's where your priorities are. Our principal would ride around in his golf cart along with the RO. Susan sent you the link on for Fox News Congress live meeting. It ended. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. In one high school that I was at, they had people that went around in golf carts. And, it's a big campus. And so basically you couldn't cover that entire campus. There were still fights, still stuff happened, even with those people doing that. Looking for all white tires now. I know, Alan. That'll be next. Don't even mention that in California, because if you bring up that idea about white tires, the next thing you know, we'll have all white tires that will be required in California. And I know you think that's crazy, but I'm telling you, somebody gets a hold of that idea, they'd probably run with it. And then they'll say only white cars, white tires, white cars. Don't breathe the cow farts in California. Brandon, cow farts are illegal in California anyway. So, white cars only. I still haven't forgotten your challenge, Susan. I will be next school year. Teresa, you know what? I thought about you yesterday and I wondered about that. Thanks for telling me. God must have put that on your heart to tell me today. All right, everybody, God's Views on Political News coming up at 1 o'clock on God's Views on Political News Facebook page. It's live. You can comment and ask questions. It'll be up on my SusanKnowles.com after the show. I'll put it up there, and you can see the video. You just won't be there live. White tires are racist. There you go, Wayne. Well, maybe they can put some emblem on them for everybody else. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you guys. If you would please retweet this, I would appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I will see you again on Thursday. All right. So I'm off tomorrow. See you on Thursday. Thank you, Spencer. Take care of you guys.